regard, defamation cases as maybe the most important or the most profound cases there are, because we only get one reputation, and you don't get a second chance once it's destroyed. To have your reputation destroyed is really to ruin everything about you. It ruins you, it ruins your family's view of you, it ruins your neighbor's view of you. You go to a party, you don't know who's looking at you sideways because they heard, you're a this or you're a that. It is an extraordinarily difficult thing to live with. And for that reason, when we represent defamation clients, it really is the most profound type case we could be handling.
Ooh, we get some Christmassy intro music here. Welcome to the JAKIB Halftime Show presented by Bacchetto and Lentz. I'm Devan Kaney, joined by John McMullen, our Eagles insider, who for once is not down in Dallas for the game, and also Marc Farzetta joining us from his kitchen where he's really good food. So, John, I'm going to start with you. Overall thoughts on this first half. Eagles lead the Cowboys 20-17. Some good moments, some very frustrating moments, especially when it comes to the Eagles' defensive performance so far this game.
Yeah, and I think that kind of explains it, Devin. You can't ask more from the offense. I mean, 20 points at halftime with a backup quarterback. I think Gardner has performed admirably, kind of what we explained, a lot of intermediate stuff. When he's targeting A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, he's 5 for 5. You can see the quick decision-making, gets the football out of his hands. Had the one interception. I kind of argue Quez Watkins could have fought for that ball a little bit more. He did stare him down, so you blame Gardner a little bit, but 196 total yards, Devin. So, you're on pace for 40 points and 400 yards. That's good enough. And the Eagles offense should get a lot of credit. Defensively, kind of the opposite. Dak Prescott 16 for 18. So the ball barely hit the field. He had the one interception, the pick six to Josh Sweat. So it's only hit the field once. They got to make things a little bit more difficult in the passing game. One of the issues is Avonte Maddox leaving with a toe injury. CeeDee Lamb is just killing them from the slot. So they have to figure out something with CeeDee Lamb inside. They have done a good job with the rushing game, though. Zeke Elliott, 12 for 24. Tony Pollard, 4 for 6. So they're doing a decent job stopping the run. But CeeDee Lamb in the slot, they gotta figure something out.
Yeah, Avonte Maddox, questionable to return. And John, usually you're my go-to person for intel and updates on injuries at halftime. And I believe Jordan Davis went out. I don't think he went back in.
I didn't see him go back in. I know he was in the tent, so we'll see. I haven't gotten an update from the Eagles. They generally text them to us and haven't gotten anything yet. But you're right about Avonte, questionable to return with a toe injury. A little bit concerned though, because generally, if you're going to be back, he would have been back by this point. So, a little bit of hope, maybe he's back for the third quarter, but if he's not, he's probably going to be out for the game.
Yeah. Marc Farzetta, I know you've got a lot to say about this defensive performance, so let's hear it.
Well, I mean, first off, covering CeeDee Lamb might be a good start for the Eagles secondary. They're taking full advantage of that. Reed Blankenship, as aggressive as he can be, I don't think it's done a phenomenal job in the middle of the field, unfortunately, especially trying to be deep on a lot of those plays. Avonte Maddox playing at the line of scrimmage is going to be very much missed in the second half with how well he has played in the first. Of course, I wish he would have had that wrapped up with Dak Prescott on that miraculous play that Prescott did make. But overall, I'm pretty much impressed with what they've been able to do as far as their pass rush has gone. And it's good to see them have a very run-heavy offense when it comes to using Miles Sanders. True, they don't have many other options, but it's great to see them at least do what they were doing in that first half, or how they were using Miles. But, yeah, overall, love what I'm seeing so far. And the fact that you are doing this with your backup quarterback in Gardner Minshew, and you're going into halftime against a very good Dallas Cowboy defense with a 20-17 lead, you got to be feeling good on this Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I think defensively, coming down to just dumb mistakes and penalties. That Slay penalty obviously led to a touchdown. Not great. Maddox did miss a tackle that I believe led to a first down that led to a touchdown. Also not great. What adjustments, if any, do you want them to make on defense in the second half?
I mean, as far as the aggression goes, I actually love what I'm seeing from Jonathan Gannon. A couple more games. They seem to have a lot of success when they run games on the defensive line. They had a lot of success in Chicago doing that. I think they have a lot more success in Dallas if they run a couple more of those. But it's really going to be interesting to see the adjustment that they do make without Avonte Maddox in that second half. So that's going to be the number one thing I'm looking at. And let's get TJ Edwards involved a little bit more. If you're not getting home when it comes to that pass rush, I want to see a little bit more from TJ Edwards in that regard. But offensively speaking, I think they stick with the same game plan, execute a little bit better. I think they're going to have a lot more success in the second half.
All right, John, I know you said you were pretty happy and impressed by how Minshew and the offense did in the first half. Any adjustments you think they need to make going into the second?
Offensively, not much. I think, that's as good as you can hope for, and they played pretty well. You probably want a little bit better completion percentage from Gardner. Maybe you kind of shorten it down to AJ, Dallas, Devontae, because he's really more of a touch thrower. So I don't know if this is the game to get everybody involved. Let's lean on the stars. I think that's what they should do offensively. Defensively, yeah, they got to figure out the slot. And I should have mentioned before, that might have been the worst half of football Darius Slay has played all season.
Yeah.
I mean, T.Y. Hilton caught him. You could see the respect they have for each other. He knew right away T.Y. got him on that move and the big penalty. And then the miscommunication. I think everybody looked at Josiah Scott and Reed Blankenship because they're young players. I'm pretty sure that was cover 3, and that was Darius's responsibility. So Slay is usually great. We all know that. All pro level player. Not a great 30 minutes. Maybe it's just a natural adjustment, but he's got to play better.
All right. John McMullen, Marc Farzetta, will let you get back to your cooking. Please continue to post whatever delicious food you're making. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, look at that.
You said that was like a tuna crudo. We got a lot going on over at the Farzetta household right now.
Balsamic glaze. Show us the balsamic glaze. Oh, he's got the crabs going.
Legs. Wow.
Yeah, he's got the crabs.
That's my brother's doing.
This is also a cooking show, in case you guys didn't know.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to the JAKIB Halftime Show. I'm Devan Kaney, John McMullen, Marc Farzetta. Tune into our Pond the Hockey post-game show for coverage as we wrap up everything that went down in this game right after the fourth quarter ends in Eagles at Dallas. Thanks for tuning in.
Regard, defamation cases as maybe the most important or the most profound cases there are, because we only get one reputation, and you don't get a second chance once it's destroyed. To have your reputation destroyed is really to ruin everything about you. It ruins you, it ruins your family's view of you, it ruins your neighbor's view of you. You go to a party, you don't know who's looking at you sideways because they heard, you're a this or you're a that. It is an extraordinarily difficult thing to live with. And for that reason, when we represent defamation clients, it really is the most profound type case we could be handling.